Hey everybody, welcome back to the FOGO Life. My name is Ron Dimpflmaier, a.k.a. Captain Ron 302. Sebastian's taking a little break. I've been doing some videos with him in the past, so he asked me to do some videos and show you how I do things on my grills, my big green eggs and my other grills. So today, we got something special. Lobster season just opened up in Florida here, so we got this monster spiny lobster tail. We're gonna do something super special with it. We're gonna take it, we're gonna butterfly it open, we're gonna make what I call ceviche style grilled lobster. Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. We're gonna butterfly it, we're gonna soak it in lime juice, fresh lime juice for a couple hours, and let that acid really get in and soak in that meat. Whoa, we're losing the limes. We're gonna let it soak in and really get in that meat and pre-cook that meat for us. Once that's done, we're gonna take it, we're gonna throw it on the big green egg for a couple minutes to finish it off. We're gonna have a seafood feast like you can't believe, okay? So stick around, let me show you how I do it. Here we go. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our handy dandy kitchen shears. We're gonna slice this baby right down the back, okay? So we wanna take it, you don't wanna cut all the way through yet. We're gonna just slice it right down the middle. It's okay if you get the meat in there, because we're gonna wind up butterflying this thing open all the way anyway. You wanna cut all the way through, but not all the way through. You wanna leave it at the tail. Now, this is the important part. You wanna cut the meat just till you get down to the bottom of the shell and push it down just so you hear a little crack. Oh, you hear that little crack? Okay. Take it. Oh yeah, look at that. Is that gorgeous or what? Oh yeah, look at that. Woo, that's gorgeous. Now the important part is you gotta pull this meat up out of the shell. This thing is a monster, good Lord. This may be the largest lobster that I've ever worked with. Okay, so you wanna pull it up out of the shell and lay it back in there because we want this lime juice, once we get there, to get all up underneath. Okay, so we pull it up out. Separate that meat from the shell. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put lime juice all down in here and lay it back in it. So now that we've got it butterflied open, what we wanna do is we wanna take some limes, a whole bunch of them. You want a lot of lime juice. Fresh lime juice is really important for this, folks. So we're gonna take the fresh lime juice, we're gonna cut them open, we're gonna chop some garlic and a bunch of cilantro. These are our only 3 ingredients in this whole thing. It's super simple, but it's so flavorful and so tasty. Where that juices and everything soaks into that meat while it's marinating. Oh, God, it's gonna be so good. So let's get started cutting some lime, some garlic, and cilantro, and we'll load this baby up. So when I'm chopping my cilantro, I don't want to chop it too fine, but I don't want to leave it whole either. I want the juices from the leaves to come out into the lobster meat. So when I put it on there, we're actually getting some of the flavors coming out, the oils from the cilantro, from the garlic. We want all of that mixing in and soaking into our lobster meat. That's going to make it real flavor. All right, so we've got everything chopped, we've got everything cut. We're going to take our lobster tail and set it into a nice container. This is a good sized container for it because we don't have a lot of extra room. So the lime juice is really going to be good. Now we're going to squeeze all these 142 limes that we just cut right into it and give it some nice juices here. Little tip, I like to put my limes in this way so that it squeezes all the juice. See all that juice coming out? And then when I'm done, look at that, it's got everything squeezed out of it. So if you put it in like this, it's going to cup it, but this way you squeeze every last drop out of it. Now watch all this lime, that juice that comes out. And that baby is bone dry. Okay, so the one thing you want to make sure when you lift this up, you can see the way that these shells are, they hold the juice really nicely. Okay, so you want to get that juice sitting in the shell like that, and that's when we lay it back down in there nice and gentle so it doesn't squeeze out of there, so that juice is all hitting that bottom side of that meat too. So that's going to tenderize it and it's going to marinate it and it's going to actually pre-cook it. The way that this works is that the acids will actually work towards cooking the lobster meat. So we're just gonna finish this off on the grill. That's all we're gonna do. It's really a pretty cool process, don't you think? So our lime juice is soaking into the tail now. The only thing we have to do is we have to put the garlic on. You know, I like when recipes call for garlic, and you can never have too much garlic. If your recipe calls for 1 clove of garlic, use 4. That's the way I look at it. All right, but you wanna get it nicely covered, nice and even, because you wanna disperse properly, okay? And then the cilantro. Don't be afraid with this. Do not be afraid with it. You put a lot. Put it underneath it. Put it on top. Put it everywhere. Because the oils from it are really going to soak into this tail nicely. And it's going to give it some superior flavor that you just can't believe. This is something I kind of made up on my own here, and I think you're gonna find it's really, really tasty. All right, I'm gonna cover this up and go set this in the refrigerator for a couple hours and let this marinate. Okay, so we just took our lobster out of the refrigerator. It's been marinating for about 2.5, almost 3 hours. Oh yeah, look at that. Now you see here, see how the meat has already turned white instead of that clear, translucent color? That's where the lime juice came in, and the acid actually is cooking into that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna place this whole thing right on the indirect side of the grill and let this roast and soak up that moisture and that smoky flavor. Look at the size of that baby. Woo! Gonna let it sit there. That sucker's gonna cook. So we're gonna let this go until it hits about 145 degrees. At that point, you can take it and you can sear it if you want. I prefer not to. I like to just let it get that nice flavor from cooking, and then it's all complete. Gives it that nice limey cilantro flavor. Okay, now we all know when you're eating lobster, what's the thing you need? Butter. All right, so we're gonna make a delicious cilantro lime butter. We're gonna start, just take a couple pats of your butter, stick it in here, okay? We got a bunch of minced garlic here. We dump all that minced garlic right in there. We just want a little bit, and we're gonna put that right down into the direct side. All right? You wanna let that cook, get it nice and melty, let that garlic start to cook a little bit, and then we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. Oh yeah. Our garlic butter is bubbling away beautifully. Look at that stuff go. All right, so we want to add the rest of our ingredients. So let's make it a little easier to work with. Don't forget, folks, the pot's gonna be hot. Use a glove, okay? Use a heat glove. So we're gonna take the rest of our butter, put that in, and take some cilantro. We have some cilantro left over. Throw that in. And what the heck, we'll do one more lime. So, put our lime in, remember, upside down. Squeeze that in. Oh man, this is gonna be good. Ooh-wee. Look at that. Set it back down there. We'll let that cook down for the rest of the time while this lobster's cooking. It's looking good. Let's see where we're at, shall we? Okay, 113 degrees. We want it to be 140 to 145 degrees. Let's let it go. Okay, so our butter is beautifully melted. We can baste this lobster tail a little bit with it. Okay, it's lobster time. Oh my God, look at that thing. Is that gorgeous or what? Just good enough to eat. Let's test it, see where we're at temperature-wise. 143, I think we're there. We want 145, so we'll pull it off, it'll be good. Okay, so we're gonna pull this off. We got our beautiful butter. Look at that, that's gorgeous. We're gonna use that to dip right in there. And as a little bonus, put some nice limes on there. We got some beautiful charred limes to squeeze over it. So now, the part we've all been waiting for, we get to eat. You excited?
Very.
Everybody, this is my daughter, Caitlin. Say hi, Caitlin.
Hi.
Supposed to say hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin.
Ah-ha. So we put these limes on to char them, okay? Because it just gives it all that extra sweetness. It brings out all the flavor in the lime. It's fantastic. So we're gonna pull this lobster out of the tail. Oh, look at that. All right, let's cut the end off here. This thing's a monster, isn't it?
Massive.
Massive is right. Let's see if we can do this in one piece. Okay.
Look at that.
Look at that. You see now in here, all the seasonings and everything was all cooking in the bottom of the lobster, giving all of that lobster flavor all through the whole thing. So, it's gonna be super special. Would you like the first bite?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay.
I'd love the first bite.
All right. Would you like some wonderful cilantro lime butter?
I would love some wonderful cilantro lime butter.
Oh boy. Here we go, the true test, folks, the true test. Look at that. You see how it is? It's beautiful, nice and juicy. It's still flaky, it comes apart.
Oh my goodness.
Give it a little dunk. Oh, yeah. Ceviche style spiny lobster tails. make this. You are going to be so happy. Oh, it's so good. What do you think? You like the lime flavor to it?
I think it's amazing.
Yeah?
The flavor is like perfect. It's not too much, but it's not underwhelming.
It's so good.
Fantastic.
So, the other thing you can do is when you're done and you hit your temperature, you can take it, flip it over on the grates, put the meat side down if you want to give it a little char on top. I prefer it like this, but that's just me, as I'm chewing and talking to you, okay? So, ceviche style spiny lobster tails. Listen, we want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you've enjoyed this and I hope you've learned something. Please leave us a comment, hit like, hit subscribe, okay? Come back again next week. We're going to have a great video for you, something special. I can't tell you what it is yet because it's a surprise, all right? But tune back in. Thanks for tuning in. Spiny ceviche lobster.